Hello and welcome to the Service Ducks podcast. I am co-host James Downs.
And I'm Rush here, and we're here to chat about all things ServiceNow, everyday life as a ServiceNow consultant, new features, implementation successes, and perhaps more entertaining when it doesn't go quite so well. Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of the Service Ducks podcast. You know, whenever I say that, I'm conscious that I have a lisp. My lisp sounds more pronounced. When I edit this, I can see a Service Ducks podcast. Try saying it quickly.
Service Ducks, yeah, it's like one of those tongue twisters.
So, if you're new here, welcome. You know, the format is James and I just usually have a bit of a chat, and then we'll talk about ServiceNow relevant stuff. But today's episode is going to be about meetups, right? There's been some noise on social media. Insert your platform there. In terms of meetups happening all around the globe, right? And they're predominantly techie meetups, so dev meetups. So this is really about, does everyone know what they are? There's a lot of new people that are coming into the industry, may not know what they are, too scared to ask, right? So it's a bit about what they are, but also if you go along to one, what can you expect? And better still, how can you make it the best experience possible? I think that's key, right? So we're going to talk all about that. But before and that's what's coming up later. But before we get into that, let's stick to our normal format. Let's face it, this is the bit that everyone actually wants to hear. Come on. What's new? What's going on? How's your last time we spoke, actually, you just had a car crash.
Yes.
That sounds dramatic. Right?
I know, it sounds really dramatic.
Right.
No limbs were lost. Yeah, no, I was in a head-on-head collision.
Yeah. So go on, what's the update?
Still don't have the car back. So, yeah, for those who wants updates on my Corsa E, it's still with the mechanics waiting parts, and doesn't look like the parts are coming anytime soon. So, yeah, a lot more time to wait, I think, to get my car back. But at very least, I have a courtesy car now. So I did have to wait for a few weeks just to get a courtesy car to get out and about. So
is your courtesy car better than your other car?
No, I hate it. It's absolutely awful. I say it's awful, but it's based on the same sort of model as a Corsa E, so it's got the same sort of chassis. It's a Peugeot. Right, sorry to alienate Peugeot fans out there. Peugeot 208, I think it is, and yeah, it's just
a Peugeot 20 don't bother.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I miss my electric car. You know, the convenience of being able to charge from home.
You've gone electric.
I've gone full electric, not even half electric. I've gone full on electric Corsa, range of about 200 miles, which is perfect for like your everyday kind of like journeys and things. So, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? That's brought a wry smile to my face. Do you know, I've just got visions of you, right, in your electric Corsa, going down the road and it slowly runs out of battery. Do you remember like the tapes, their music tapes back in the 80s when they got twine, they just went.
Yeah, and do you know what? The range anxiety is the biggest thing with these electric cars. Every single journey, no matter how much range is showing in your car, you've still got that little nagging feeling at the back of your mind that that's going to happen and you're going to get completely stuck somewhere. So
I'm guessing actually when the battery does run out, it has to run out gradually. It can't just stop. You can't be doing 90 down the motorway. No, we don't do 90. You can't be doing 70 down the motorway. It just cuts out.
Who's listening? Yeah. No. It goes into some form of like limp home mode sort of thing that kind of gets you somewhere. But yeah, clearly the infrastructure is not caught up with all this yet. But I'm not enjoying queuing up the petrol pumps to top up my courtesy car, to be quite honest.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. And work-wise, much on this week?
Oh, yeah, super busy. Some really interesting. Those people who are really interested in CMDB and, you know, cleaning up CMDB and doing things right, CSDM. I know we had a podcast episode about CSDM. Go back and watch that. Listen to that even. Yep. But yeah, a lot about just defining something called blueprints. So this is about configuring the topology of your technology to say, right, an application
Topology.
service
I like that
should be
word.
connected to a web server, or should be connected to a VM instance. Do you know what I mean? Well, the classes together, comparing that to your CMDB, coming up with some remediation tasks against it. So, yeah, some really interesting stuff around that.
Yeah.
So, it's
Funnily enough, this week I've been doing a bit of CSDM service modeling. You know, just doing exactly what you said, like in terms of application service offerings, all that kind of fun stuff. I've been doing a bit of that this week. One thing I do want to point out, I was slightly distracted, right, when you were talking. What is that over your shoulder? I have never seen that before. What is it? You're in the way now.
I don't know what you're.
That DXC award thing. Come on, bring that down. Let's have a
Oh, hold on. Pound in the jar. Does that count for you as well?
a pound in the partner jar.
So that is I can't reach it because I've got my headphones on, but that is a 5 out of 5 award for a CSAT survey got back from a customer. So so I was rewarded with a nice A4 certificate for my achievements on a customer project.
Good.
Yeah.
So not only does ServiceNow recognise that, but your company's obviously recognise you for your involvement in it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice. How much did you pay the customer?
Yeah.
Don't mention that.
Yep. So yeah, I've not, other than just trying to make do with the slush that we have rather than snow. So we didn't get too much of a flurry where we are in Suffolk.
That's very true, actually. It's been snowing here in the UK, which, if you know anything about the UK, a snow that falls on the train track just renders the whole country useless.
Yes, absolutely. Doesn't take much, does it? No.
Yeah, we've had a bit of snow, actually. I was going to tell you something about this. Did I tell you this in the week? I don't think I have. And I'm going to sound like a really bad person, actually. I don't know whether to say it.
Go on.
Anyway, because it's funny.
They're intrigued.
So,
the listeners are intrigued.
Yes, it snowed. Right, so we've got snow. Sounds obvious. Part of my morning routine is I'm very lucky, actually. I get bought cups of tea, or no, coffee in bed. How cool is that in the week?
Very nice.
My job at the weekend, but in the week, it's my wife's job. Anyway, I'll have my cup of coffee. I'll do all the normal stuff. You shower and who's what's it. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I said that. Teeth. Right.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll do that. Then we live in a house which has got like and this annoys me actually because they tell you to put loft insulation, right? There was a whole thing about it years ago when you got grants to put loft insulation in. Of course, you do that, your home gets warmer, you get more condensation because the air can't escape. Third world problems, I understand, but we have a condensation issue. When it's really cold outside, our house is nice and warm. On the windows, we have condensation. This story is leading somewhere. Stick with me.
Yeah.
So every morning, we use a window vac, which arguably is one of the best purchases I've ever made. It's fantastic. It's one of these hoovery type things.
Squeegee, hoovery, yeah.
A hoovery squeegee. You do this down the window and it gets rid of the condensation. And you have to do it, otherwise you get mold and blah, blah. Yeah. If anyone's listening that understands what I'm talking about and has the same issues, I'm with you. We're in it together.
That's it. Link on Amazon and the podcast description.
Affiliate link.
There's the name of the episode. Hoovery squeegee.
Can you squeegee your window? Anyway, I was doing that in the morning. Now, my daughter's bedroom overlooks the estate. So my neighbours are looking... Our houses are kind of opposite each other. Right? So you can see each other's front driveway. Oh, God, I sound evil. Anyway, I was doing the window like I do every single morning, and the people opposite came out to get in the cars. Wife and husband came out to come and start their cars to warm them up.
Yeah.
Literally, while I'm stood there in full view, she stacks it on the floor in the
driveway. Oh, yes.
And that sounds really evil.
Well, if that doesn't get a laugh, then you're not human, are you?
But anyway, but do you know what was... Right. I'm not completely heartless because it was quite a big fall. I saw it all. There was no corner of my eye.
There was injury as part of this fall. Is that right?
No, I don't know. But it looked like it hurt, right? It did look like it hurt. But I was in the position where we're talking she's got a big window. It's not like a small window. So in a split second, I have to think to myself, do I hide quickly to pretend I didn't see it? Do I put the woman through the embarrassment of knowing I've seen it and stand there
and point? Yeah.
What do I do? So I kind of stood there, continued, but pretended I didn't see.
Brilliant. So you acted up.
It was either
there's someone over there.
Yeah. It was either hot, or I could have gone with the other option, which look shocked and run out.
Yeah. Are you okay? Yeah.
I will point out her husband was with her and picked her up. So and the end of the story was fine. But the point was, it's like, what do you do in that situation? Right?
Yeah, the thing is, she's always going to wonder now whether you did see or didn't see.
Well, no,
so she's going to lock eyes with you in the morning now when you're both out there and you're like,
But this is the thing, and it's amazing what goes through your head so fast, because all of that went through my head in a second.
Yes.
It's like, if I
so
hide,
choices.
she's going to see the flash of me going. If I hold it out, then there's going to be that awkwardness. Oh, I saw you fall and I thought it was funny kind of thing.
So you just went with instinct, which was just play dumb.
Play dumb and carry on.
Just doing my window.
I sound really evil. And let me just stress, right? I do get on with my neighbours. It was mildly amusing, and she was okay. Right? But it was just one of my funny things for the week with the snow. I'm not sure if I told you that, and if I didn't, why not?
You didn't? No, it's quite funny. Yeah, I like that.
So there was that. The other thing that's really exciting, actually, that we should talk, and then we best get on with what the podcast is about, is we have decided to do... In fact, actually, it was mainly me, and I kind of pushed you into it. Two things, actually, that I pushed you into this week. One is... you and I are doing a run together on Sunday.
We are indeed.
We're meeting halfway, and we're going to do a 10-kilometre run. We both share a passion for running. We've said this before. We're not going to hide it. We're middle-aged. We need to keep moving.
Yep.
So we're going to do that. So that's quite exciting. I feel like I've pushed you into that, but I'm not sure. But the other thing, which is possibly more exciting, is we have got some new artwork for the podcast.
We do.
So we have a thumbnail. Start again. We have a thumbnail like most podcasts do, which shows a picture of a duck and a microphone. But we've decided to go a bit more professional, a bit more upmarket. So we've got some artwork. I think we've got three different options, haven't we? And we're just deciding what to go with.
Yep.
And I think maybe it might have happened before this comes out, but we might do a poll on LinkedIn.
Yes.
In terms of what people prefer for the podcast. Because this is a podcast for the people.
This is indeed. Yep. Power to the people. Everyone's involved.
So that is exciting. That's exciting. We're starting to find our feet a bit more.
We've paid real world money for that as well. So be nice when you're reviewing.
Yeah, we have paid money. Yeah.
Yes.
Real Earth credits have gone in.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's it, really. Well, work-wise is the boring stuff, isn't it? I've been doing revert. Do you know what? I've been doing quite a lot of revert to out-the-box process type projects recently. I think they're more and more common, aren't they?
100%.
Everyone's got excited by the tool. Decided it was flexible, done all the funky stuff. Perhaps it was a tactical fix, but now they're gone, oh, God, I didn't realise that was the licensing. And then coming back to the...
It's a podcast episode in itself, isn't it? The old,
that's a good option. Should we stop talking so we don't ruin it?
Yes, okay.
So anyway, back on topic. That's enough of us. And if you switched off because you think I'm a mean person about the snow falling incident, I do apologise, and hopefully we'll win you back with this nice conversation. No.
Alienated Peugeot owners and people.
Well, who did we alienate last time? It was admins and developers, wasn't it?
Yeah, just your simple admin. Yeah.
Okay.
But I've got a question actually, because you, in the hook, you mentioned about meetups and potential dev meetups. So what I need to know is, do you mean just purely for developers? Is this just for developers? Are we talking about other types of ServiceNow event, for example, like Knowledge or Now at Work or, Now Forum, that sort of thing?
Okay. That is a fantastic question, right? So the tagline is going to be Meetups. What's it all about? So I guess we can look at it from all angles, right? Because you've got traditional techie meetups. But I think you're right. I think, and this kind of dawned on me as well, where you saw the stuff on the socials this week in terms of all those meetups or tech dev meetups coming up. I have to feel a little bit sorry for, things like BPCs and BAs and product owners and the likes. I know they have, and you're right, they have things like Knowledge. Yeah. We all have things like Knowledge. We all have sales kickoffs. Maybe that's enough, actually. Maybe we'll salespeople, they can do their own thing. But you've got...
We'll add them to the list.
We'll add them to the hit list. No, but you know what I mean? We've got Knowledge. We've got sales kickoffs. We've got summits. You've got various snugs and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they're all the same. I think why not call them meetups? Right? Why not call them meetups?
Yeah, I agree.
As much as we like to think us techies are special, and we are special, let's be honest, it should be inclusive for everyone, right? There should be a different angle to look at it. We can't just eliminate a whole bunch of roles just because they're not techies. I don't think
no, exactly. You're getting together to discuss ServiceNow and everyone's passion for ServiceNow.
I guess
get insights.
Yeah, I guess that's the point, right? So what if you say, well, what's the point in the meetup? What is it? Go on then. What's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts with meetups, and I'll have to confess that I haven't gone to many myself, especially in this new kind of like remote mode of working. I think going back 5-10 years ago, I would have gone to loads of these things. But I think with more remote working, I've not felt the need to go to these as much, and there's a lot more virtual, which I'm sure we can go into as well. Yeah. But the benefits of going to these things, I could imagine, is around the networking and things that you can't necessarily get through a virtual webinar.
So let me pause, right? So that's the benefits, right? But in your eyes, what is a meetup? So if anyone's joined this and go, oh, what the hell's a meetup?
Yeah, I mean, it's a agreed location that you can get together and discuss all things ServiceNow.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So the only thing I would add, I think, are, and I'm not sure I like this term, but we'll go with it, like-minded people. Yeah. I think it's a collection of like-minded people meeting up to learn stuff, right? And discuss things that they're all interested in. Yeah. So arguably, you and I, we're doing a run on Sunday, right? We're meeting up halfway. I know there's only two of us. It's a pretty rubbish meetup.
Oh, thanks.
but if you think about all those runners, we're all doing the race, right? We're all like-minded. We're all there to achieve the same kind of thing. Yep. So technically, that is a meetup.
That's a meetup. Yeah. You're meeting up to do something that you both enjoy.
Yeah. So I think.
Where's this going?
Yeah. Jesus. Not again.
The Peugeot Owners Club meetup.
Back at Sainsbury's car park. No.
Other supermarkets are available.
Well, actually, that is a good point because you have car meetups, right? And it's just
that are
same all there for
clubs.
Yeah. So I think that is our simplistic view of a meetup.
Yeah.
I've been to a few. I've been to ServiceNow. Orientated ones. I've been to a few. I went to there was a couple actually when lockdown was on that were virtual that I went to. And I think, if I'm being honest, the virtual ones for me, they didn't work really. They were good to I don't want to say show willing, but they were good to keep the momentum going, to keep us knowing that we haven't been forgotten about, right? And allow us that forum to get together. But it was very much, and I don't know how you can do it any other way, but it was very much a webinar that you sat and listened to.
Yeah, it's hard to engage, get people's perceptions of what's going on,
Yes.
You can't just go out into different conversations, or you're there to just listen along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Actually, you've just said that. I'm gonna challenge you on what you said before, that you've been to a couple, right? You and I used to work at the same partner going back years ago.
Yep.
That's ServiceNow partner. just to clarify. But we used to have a meetup every month.
Yes, we did.
In theory,
yep.
Yeah, we used to, as a company, all get together every month, all the technical people. And if I think back to those days, and again, I've been to ServiceNow specific ones, the key for me is, one, being a part of something. And that is, again, for me, is the same as running, right? That's why I love racing. I'm no good at it. I'm a classic case of all the gear and no idea. But it's being part of the same thing, right? That's what I like. So those meetups, being part of the same thing, you're all there for the same reason.
Yeah.
And it's the conversations you have whilst making a coffee, or better still, having a beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are what makes it for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. It's the kind of informal conversations that you just happen to come across, the water cooler chats, that you actually end up getting most value from. It'll be someone who said, "Oh, I heard you say this earlier. I just happened to have done that with a different client over here, and this is how we did it." Whereas you don't come across those conversations if it's so standardized and formatted, and this is what we're going to follow, and this is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
It just lets it flow a bit more.
Yeah, I think part of it is about learning new skills, or enhancing the skills you've already got. But perhaps someone like Chuck will be over and they'll do a presentation. We'll learn some new stuff, and that's always good, right? Because you learn new skills.
Insights.
But I think,
yeah,
I think you're right. So you sit and have that formal, I'm going to get talked at and learn some stuff. But I think there's a threshold, and then you have to go and have the informal conversations.
Yep. Which actually brings me to my experience at I think, was it called Now at Work or Now Forum? I can't remember. It must have been. It was one that we both went to.
I don't know.
Yeah, one of those two. Must have been something like 2019 or 2018. It was pre-COVID anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my first ServiceNow event that I had attended. So I was invited by the partner that we both used to work for.
Yep.
And
you can say the name. Come on.
You've done it already, so it's all good.
You can say it.
At DXC, or Fruition Partners. Yeah. And my role was interesting. So for those of you who, do work for partners, and, you may have a specific role that you're fulfilling there, which is an interesting angle as well. So either you're, kind of floor walking, which means, you're there, you're mingling, you're talking to different people, talking to your customers, and talking to different people who come up to your stand, perhaps, or you're also attending these different presentations to get more insights, take that back to what you've learned, or you could be more specific to just, being closer to the sales or pre-sales team, and you're talking to new prospective customers. So there's different roles you can play at one of these things. Yeah,
you've mentioned a couple of things there. You've mentioned mingling, so networking.
Yeah,
we haven't really mentioned much about that, but I think you're right. Networking, absolutely. I think that's what it boils down to. Understanding that.
Yeah.
And also you mentioned, and the only way I can phrase this is by saying what's in it for me, right? I think you've got to go into these situations. You've got to be a bit selfish. And why does that make me feel awful saying that? And it shouldn't do, right? Should it?
Well, you've got to get something out of it, don't you? You can't just...
Yeah. I suppose I don't know why I feel awful saying that, but you can't go to meetups going, "Oh, I'm going to get nothing out of this. I may as well just go along and..."
Yeah, exactly. And listen only mode. You may as well be on the webinar just listening in.
You've got to be a bit selfish, and you've got to go with the mind of getting stuff out of it for you that's going to help you, not necessarily in a career, but just as a person as well, right?
So is this one of our first kind of key takeaways from these things? Can you come prepared for one of these meetups to say, it may well be just a very short list of high topics that you want to kind of touch on? Or
I think...
does it really depend how the conversation's going?
I think you've got your tangibles, right? Arguably. that you've just mentioned. You know, is there a specific topic you want to talk about, or do you want to specifically learn something?
Yeah.
I think it's broader than that. And this is just my opinion, but if I go to a dev meetup or any kind of meetup, let's just call it dev, I'll go as best as I can with an open mind.
Yeah.
And it sounds really corny, but just be myself, right? Just try and relax and be me. And, you know, I'll be as open as I can with you here. I'm not an extroverted person. I'm more introverted.
Yeah, same.
So in public situations, I get a bit nervous in public situations. You know what I mean? When there's lots of people, it's not really my bag, but I'll do it. And I'll just try and be me. So I think being yourself, being open-minded, and just enjoying it, embracing it.
Yeah.
There's no point in going to these things, sitting down, folding down, go, oh, I don't want to be talked to by you. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? You see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a fantastic point because some people may feel that, like you say, you may be an introvert. It may feel uncomfortable to start conversations with people you don't know. And, you know, sometimes it's easier to just kind of be in that kind of listen-only mode, and that's the way you pick up the value. I think it really is down to the individual and what you're comfortable with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you shouldn't be afraid. If you're an introverted and you know, like me, and you're not comfortable, you know, talking to the person next to you, then don't. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
But the other thing I will say is there are different meetup groups, right? So if you're going to go to one and it doesn't kind of, if you just think, oh, this feels a bit off, it doesn't work for me, then stop going. Go find another one.
Why do you keep going? Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do it to yourself.
I guess you don't know until you do go. Yeah.
This is it.
Whether you're going to be comfortable with it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. And you know, the whole reason we're talking about this topic is because I think I said it before that there's been quite a lot of noise on LinkedIn that I noticed around ServiceNow dev meetups all over the globe. It sounds dramatic, but
yeah,
you know, one's in Texas and Canada and Australia and stuff. And they've just announced that the one is going to be in London, and I think it's this month, so it's March. I think it's the 30th. We don't know where yet. It sounds like a covert operation.
Yeah, it's like one of these secret cinema things.
We don't know where, and literally an hour before it starts, they're just going to drop it, and it's going to be like a rave, an illegal rave that we all just turn. It's not.
I'd be more tempted to go, I think, if that was the case. Yeah.
Please don't go thinking it's going to be a rave. But it's something that I've been plugging on LinkedIn quite a bit, asking the questions: when's the next one? When's the next one? When's the next one?
Yeah.
And I think the one thing I'm thinking to myself is we don't need to wait for ServiceNow themselves to set up these meetups for us.
No, true.
Or even advocates from like MVPs in ServiceNow. I know Durav and Copal are setting this one up, and they do a fantastic job, and they have done the last few I've been to. So nothing taking them away from them. But if you want to meet up with like-minded colleagues, you don't have to wait. You know, for this event, you can just say, "Hey, do you fancy going to catch a beer?"
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, I've got a question for you though. When does a meetup become a meetup, right? Because technically, I could say to you, "Hey, James, you're going to have a beer tomorrow." Is that a meetup, or does it have to be more than two people? Or is that called something completely different? Yeah, otherwise, it's just me and you going on a date.
Do you fancy a date? We could just chat all things.
Nothing wrong with that.
RPA.
I might try that with the wife tonight. Just sit down and go, "Hey, we're having a meetup on the couch."
That's it. I quite like the idea of the tagline of "Let's chat RPA with a pint of IPA."
Ooh,
you like that?
How long had you been thinking that for? You've been thinking that for the whole podcast, haven't you?
I've got it written down, to be fair. No, I don't.
Oh, talking about IPA, we do need to sort out that Brewdog podcasting booth. I have been looking. We will sort it out.
Yes.
But coming back on track, yes. So the meetup is London on the 30th of this month.
Yeah. So you found out about that through social media, and you say that's quite a big. That's probably the number one way of finding out about meetups. So that means you have to be following the right people on LinkedIn to know that these things are actually happening. Is there any other ways that you can find out about these things? Is it shared on blogs, developer forum? I don't know.
You know what? That is I was going to swear then, but that's a really good question.
Because when we come into this conversation, or your suggestion of bringing up of discussing this topic, I didn't know about this meetup.
Oh,
I knew nothing about it.
Well,
yeah,
it's a really good question. So there's an app. Excuse me. There's an app called Meetup.
Okay.
Funny name that. And you join that app, and you join the group, the ServiceNow Meetup group. But these are official groups that are set up either by ServiceNow or MVPs that are obviously advocating for ServiceNow.
Yeah.
But I hadn't had a notification on that. I'm assuming because they haven't set it up. And
maybe they don't have all the details. Yeah.
But other than consciously waking up one day and going, "Oh, I wonder if there's a meetup. Let's go and have a Google."
Yeah.
No.
I
can't see how, and that's why it relies. I mean, everything's social media. We touched on this last time, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Don't giggle at that. I know what you like.
We're not going to go down that path again.
Let's not go down that path again. But I think everything's social media, so it relies on everyone spreading the word. And as soon as I heard about the meetup last night, I was pounced on that and reposted it. Yeah. Because I've been waiting for it for a while. Pounce, I'm going. And maybe that's the way to go. But there is one thing I wanted to say that I've tried to say twice now, but I keep losing track of what I was talking about.
Yeah.
It does annoy me slightly, right? So I live in the south. I live not far from London. I'm in a fortunate position that I can be in London within an hour. Hateful place, don't like it. But I can be there in an hour.
Yep.
But I am actually from the West Midlands. Can you not tell what my accent would have been?
Yeah. So you're going to get there by canal.
Yeah. Take a canal boat. Yeah. But it does, I don't know, it does get to me a little bit that it's all London-centric.
Oh, London.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it'd be nice if they had, and I put a LinkedIn post in a slight kind of tongue-in-cheek, so the London chapter, but it'd be nice if we could do meetups in the Midlands. So, I don't know, Birmingham, if we could do one towards the north, so maybe Watford. No, I'm joking.
That's classified as a north, right? Anything above the M25.
No, but if we could do one in Leeds, maybe, that might be a good place to do one.
Stoke.
No. But you know what I mean? It's
yeah. Spread the love.
Yeah. Spread. Let's not go there. But absolutely, I know. I think it'd be good if we could do them in other places. And it's something that I have not offered to do, but offered to get involved with that if anyone wants to start a meetup group in different places around the country. We could take service ducks on tours.
Ooh. No one would come.
There's one for you. If anyone's listening to this and wants us to do a talk at the meetup in London on the 30th, give us a shout and James will be there. No problem.
Commit me to it, why don't you?
No,
one half of the service ducks is James.
It'd be good. We could rock up with some service duck merch, a little rubber ducky. Get rid of Dave or Keith, whatever his name is.
Our 2 subscribers, our mothers will be joining.
It won't cost us much. Back on to the question though. Are you going? Have you decided?
Well, I only found out about it about less than 6 hours ago.
30th
quite possibly,
of March.
But 30th of March in London. I tend to avoid London.
And me.
I tend to avoid people. And it also takes, I mean, you mentioned that point around location, and it takes 2.5 hours for me to get to London. So to make it viable, it would have to be, do you know what I mean? This is a whole day thing, getting back in the evening quite late. So yeah, with children as well, it makes it hard.
You don't fancy going along, getting some service duck merch? Wearing a t-shirt, do you? Little ducky?
Sit with a new logo and yep.
I joking aside, I'm going. I'll be working in London for the day on the Thursday. And then I'll be going along. Yeah. And then I'll
get yourselves down there. Go meet Russ from the Service Ducks.
Yeah. We'll have a few beers.
You'll see him in his service nerd outfit.
My service nerd outfit. I've got a whole outfit now, have I?
Yeah.
It's no longer a t-shirt. It's
a whole
weird
thing.
costume.
Joggers.
But no, I will definitely be there because last time it was great. It was for me. It was brilliant to see some faces that I worked with many years ago. I haven't seen for a long time. It was good to have those chats afterwards. I'm not gonna lie, they did do free pizza and beers after. Always a winner. And that was really good because you can chat about old times, what people are working on right now, and
it's a very small circle. That's what we know. It's a small circle. You know, it's the same names that you see on LinkedIn, and it's good to see old pals.
Yeah, this is it, and that's what it's about for me.
So, meetups, we've described that they're more than just a date. You can meet up with 2, or you can meet up with more. We described that meetups are groups of people who have a common interest discussing the things that they enjoy, and to get more insight from other people, to listen to how they've done things and to get value out of it. Yeah.
And to be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself, and it's okay if you're a little bit shy like me.
Yeah, and it's also okay not to go.
Yeah.
That's an option. Not mandatory,
that ruins
but at least
the whole
try
podcast.
it once. Yeah.
No, that's not okay. Right?
Is it not okay? Go to them. Go to the London one, or nothing.
But hang on, can I just say, I know you were wrapping up, and I do this all the time, but if at the start of the podcast we would have just said, meetups, it's okay not to go.
Don't bother. Well, all I'm saying is sometimes it's not viable for travelling, plus
that's
whether you're comfortable in doing it. So
yeah, and if you don't go, don't bow down to peer pressure from like your podcast host or anything like that. don't allow them to mock you continuously for not going. Okay, or send you pictures about
whatever you do. Don't fall over in front of them.
Oh God, yeah, take a turn for the worse again.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you have been following along, you made it this far, then we absolutely appreciate it.
Yeah.
If there's anything that you want to know or any questions you want answered, then send in a mail. It'll come in the outro bit. But until then, I've been Russ.
I've been James.
And this is Service Ducks.
That's all for today's podcast. Thank you for listening, and if you want to get your question answered by the Service Ducks, get in touch through Talk to the Duck at service-ducks.com, or just use one of the links below.